The following is a production of Boiling Springs, Upstate Prepcast.
Well, good evening. Welcome into the first edition of Real Talk with Coach Matt Reel. Tom Dix along with Todd Waddell. And Coach Reel's not with us right now. He sent his coaches instead. So we're going to start with him. Big night of football the other night. Big jamboree, guys. Had a great showing. All three games, the Spartanburg County team came out on top. We're focused on the Bowling Springs game as well. Coach Turk, Coach Anderson over here, offense, defense. What were your thoughts about the game or the scrimmage on Friday night?
It was good. We got a chance to get some guys, some backup reps, some opportunities. Emory got dinged up in the first drive, and to us, it's like we kept referring to them as preseason games. And so it's not like, you want to win everything you do, obviously, but it was more like, okay, let's be smart here. Let's be the adults in the room, and we'll pull him to the side, and we don't need to win the jamboree necessarily. We needed to give AZ a lot of reps, and he did a great job out there. I think we had over 30-something plays, and he played about 28. And it was great for him to get that experience in front of a crowd. And, that was one thing we look back on when I was in my career. I remember we used to, in the college days, before you could have jamborees and go against other teams, it was like, well, we have a scrimmage. And Coach Spurrier always used to say, let's do something under the lights and get the crowd in there. We'll find out who the real ball players were. And I think we had a chance to see on Friday night who could really perform under the lights. And then I was really, like we talked before off air, like AZ did some really good things. I was really proud of him.
Yeah, we mentioned it several times, him being a sophomore and seeing a lot of the reps and everything. I was impressed, just the look of him. Mm-hmm. He looks like a quarterback. He didn't look like a 10th grader out there to me. I had to do a double take to see that he was still a sophomore, but I thought he played really well.
He's a very mature kid. He's quiet, but then he's got this big personality when he needs to have it. And the kids really respond to him. They really see what he does at practice, and the growth from our open season into spring ball and into the summertime, and just giving him more reps at, like, we did some JV 7-on-7s and things like that. Watching him grow, the staff has even noticed it too. It's hard to miss his maturity and his confidence as he grows, and I'm really excited, like I said, for his future. It's going to be here sooner than you think, and that's one thing we've been challenging on the offensive side of the ball. It's like we have seniors, we have a very, very small junior class across the entire team, and then we have so many sophomores that are in position that they probably, I know if we had a bigger junior class, they wouldn't be in that position. And AZ is in that spot, and he's taking full advantage of it right now.
Well, he showed a lot of poise in some situations on Friday night, which I was really impressed with, especially as that's his first Friday night, I guess, in the varsity uniform. Showed a lot of poise for a 10th grader. And like you said, the future looks really, really bright for him and for the Bowling Springs as well. And I said this on the air, we know what Emory can do. Yeah. Now we know what our backup can do. We just need more reps with him, and he just needs to build that confidence when it is his turn to get in there on Friday night, which could be after any play. Yeah. Any play, next thing you know, he's next man up. Yeah. Coach Anderson, defensive, did a great job the other night, put points on the board. And other than that field goal I guess we gave up, we did a good job containing the whole game.
Yeah, we felt, I was pleased with the defense as a whole. We're in a different situation where we returned a lot of our players from last year, and so those guys we've been holding off in the earlier scrimmages, trying to make sure they just get to the season healthy. And so it was nice to see them go out there and do the things that we expect Tavion to do and expect Jamarcus to do and Dennis. And so it was good to let them, cut them loose. But at the same time, we do have some young guys that we also are counting on in major ways that we're able to get in there in a Friday night environment where they've never been in that situation before. I looked up on Monday morning in our meeting, Tavion and Jamarcus weren't in there, and I said, who's been in a Monday morning game week meeting? And not one raised their hand. So very same situation as far as the next guy up. They haven't played any varsity football. So we were pleased with, getting those guys out there, especially, getting live special teams reps with a lot of our defensive players that are backups on defense, but they're special team starters. It's good to get them going early on like that. So we were pleased, and there's certainly things we can build on that we got to improve on if we want to continue to be successful. But overall, it was a good night for the defense.
Yeah, we mentioned in the preseason show a couple of weeks ago about, it seems Dennis's name is already out there. Everybody knows who Dennis is. He's probably going to be double, triple teamed a good bit and everything. That's going to open it up to some of your other players there.
Yeah,
so.
one new face is Chris Anderson. He moved in this summer or spring, and so it's able to open up things for him. But he's also a big boy too, and so now the linebackers are getting free and they're able to scrape across and make those plays too. So Chris has added some heftiness to our front where, Dennis was really the only big boy we had, and then we just had some speed players with Champion and Culkin and Derek and those guys. So adding Chris has been helpful, but Dennis, he brings a lot of attention, and so we'll do our best really to try to get him in some one-on-one situations because we need him to make some plays. We don't need him to just take on blocks the whole year. That's not what not why people want him to come play college football.
Exactly.
So we got to help him out as well.
He was stuffing the line a few times in there. He got in the backfield several times. You can tell he's licking his chops. But
I'm just happy to see him go against another team. We're sick and tired of seeing him practice. I'm so tired of it.
I was going to say that you can't replicate game time situations at practice. You can try your best. You can do anything, but Friday night, different jerseys over there, guys you don't see every day. It's just how do these guys react? And again, jamborees, you can say it's not important to win it, but I promise everybody in the crowd wanted to win that one.
Yeah.
So, and the kids on the field, they want to get the win, and they did. But most importantly was the Friday night reps for, again, like you said, a lot of players that haven't been out there on a Friday night. And it made a big difference, which sets us up for, this Friday it counts. Yeah. Not that the other ones didn't count, but we've had scrimmages, everything. Yeah. Now it's, now they're going to put the record on the paper now.
Yeah. That's Coach Rosano that we brought over this year all summer long. As far as I know, the record's still 0-0, 0-0, and that's still the case.
It is.
And so until we suited up Friday night, none of that stuff, 7-on-7, the jamborees, those were just preparing us, for what counts. And so he's reminded the kids of that all year. They get frustrated. We didn't win a 7-on-7 or whatever those flag football games are, but
it's practice.
Correct.
That's such a defensive coach answer. It's unbelievable. It's so stereotypical.
Would you expect anything other than that from a defensive coach?
He's like, why we got to do this?
The offense play both ways, and we'll just
I get it.
We would. We do.
We'll work on tackling and sitting around.
You see these preseason polls come out. I'm like, how do they know? You've never seen any of these kids play.
No, he's got a defensive player leading the team in touchdowns this year.
Yeah. Well, he led for a couple of weeks last year.
Last year he scored 3 games in a row. He had touchdowns.
I know.
He was like 3 out of the first 4 games, and the only thing slowed him down was an injury.
Yeah, he got hurt, so we can't.
Are you on my side or his side?
I'm sitting right next to you.
Hey, we were winning. We still That's true.
But it's good to have guys on both sides of the ball that can produce, and seeing the defense step up and put points on the board makes it easier for you.
Well, it counts for my points per game average, so I'm really excited about it. It's not bad. It helps us out.
We still gave up 3, so
he did score. Tyvion did
but
score
now we did have 2 touchdowns called back because of penalties. It's preseason stuff. I'm bad about this on the air, but the referees, it was preseason for them as well. Yeah, I don't know exactly how accurate their calls were. I'm going to give them all the benefit of the doubt because I'm up in the booth and they're down there, and there's no way I'd be down there running it back and forth like they do. But, we still put points on board on the offensive side of the ball. It's just the referees decide to take it back to make it closer. Yeah, maybe they had something. Maybe the line was 4 or something like that. They didn't want to cover the line.
Right. Yeah. Preseason line in the jamboree. The thing about the refs is we try not to get too upset about it. If it's us and the staff losing our mind over a call, if it's something egregious, obviously you kind of have to say something at least. That's his job. That's not my job. But
we always say that. Ask Coach Real to get on about that. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
He let him do it. We can handle our own thing. And, Coach McDowell sitting over here, he's gotten a lot better in my years coaching with us. He used to be, you could hear him across the stadium. Now he's very reserved, very proud of him. But he sticks up for his guys. That's one thing we look for is our staff has always got the players' backs. And, we have them until we can, obviously. But, try not to get too upset about calls. It is what it is.
Well, it's jamboree for them as well. That's the referees out there trying to do the best they can, and we try to stay off of them a little bit. We just don't want them to influence the game as we saw last year. It can happen.
Riverside.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't going to throw that name out there, but yeah. Speaking of which, referees can influence the outcome of a game when they shouldn't. Yeah. And it didn't Friday night, but we had I know defense put points on the board that actually counted, but we put 2 touchdowns on the board.
Did.
Yeah,
we did. And that one AZ hit Dion across the middle, man. It was really good, just a growth play, and seeing Dion make that play and then finish in the end zone.
Yes.
And then RJ had the touchdown. So, it was good. Those are some guys that we're counting on. Dion was on the team last year. Now he's getting reps at X because he was playing behind Trey last year. And then RJ comes back to us from Woodruff, and seeing him make plays out there was really exciting. And actually, played with Coach Anderson when he was at Woodruff, so it was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see that. And again, we got Southside Christian coming up. Don't think we've ever played them. I mean, I've been doing this 20 seasons, and I've never been on broadcast a game against Southside Christian with a Bowling Spring shirt on. What do you see about them that offensive and defensively that we need to prepare for?
Offensively, they give you everything you've seen. I mean, their quarterback got hurt, the guy that we watched on film from last year, and so there's a lot of we don't know yet. We don't know how much he's going to throw the ball. They only had one preseason competition, at least, that they filmed, and so we don't necessarily know a lot, but we do know that they have the ability to line up in 10 personnel and line everybody up in empty, and they bring in 3 or 4 tight ends, and they'll line them up all in the box. And so it's going to be a great challenge. Just knowing, I was at Woodruff for a while, and that 2A, 3A ball, they're tough kids. They all play both ways. And so we know that they're going to be tough. They're going to be mentally tough. And so it's a challenge. I mean, it'll be a challenge. And they have good players, too. It ain't like they're just 2A nobodies. I mean, they got really good players, and I think they made it, to the upper state or before that last year and lost to BHP, who went on to play in the state.
Right.
And so they're coached well, and it'll be a good challenge. It's been a challenge so far, just preparing for them.
Well, they're going to be good athletes. You'll see that at schools like that. They'll have the good athletes, whether they live there closely or they can go get them. That's one of the advantages for a school like that. But you're going to have good athletes. You might not have a lot of them.
Yeah.
You might not have 60 on the team. You might only have 30, but the 30 you got are going to be good.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we're looking forward to see on Friday night. Defensively, what are they going to throw at you?
Yeah, a lot. Similar. I mean, they're going to give you some different coverages in the back half. They have they play both ways, which is something that, Ironman football, the stuff you want to say about it, and commend them for how hard they play on both sides of the ball with how many snaps they play in a game. I told our guys in our kind of like mindset meeting on Monday, we can't just roll our helmets out there and expect, because we're a 5A school with 3,000 kids, that's going to factor in. Then I had to explain to them what rolling your helmet out meant, and they didn't really know that. So I had to explain that part of it. But we can't just expect that we roll up in a bus that says Spartanburg County District 2 and that is going to be a different thing. I think back to some of the times in my career where a team that is, smaller classification or whatever it may be, you get a chance to play against a big opponent, and becomes a bigger game on their part. It's a huge opportunity for them to showcase their season, and they're not afraid to play 5A teams. They play several 5A teams this year and last year. Their coach does a great job. They're not afraid of competition. They're not afraid to schedule hard, and I think it's benefited them in the long run. What Coach Anderson said and the way they played last season. They got some big old guys on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to be have our hands full up front, but they're going to be. I think Coach McDowell told me 5 of 7 in the box play both ways, and so maybe even 6, but. We have our work cut out for us. They're going to give us a lot of different looks, and if we can just do what we need to do, focus on us, and can we handle? It can't be Bowling Springs versus Southside Christian versus, it can't be us versus us and them, and then there's too many people to go on. So, got to limit some of those pre-snap penalties. Got to limit some of those things that have been plaguing us a little bit in the preseason, and then clean that stuff up. And if we can do that, I think we have a chance. But that's all we can ask for.
Coach McDowell will bring you in. Running back room seems to be pretty stacked this year. What do you got to say about your running backs so far?
The running backs are doing a great job, and I think any time a running back gets credit, the 5 guys up front get that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really typically see them a whole lot. They don't get the stats, but those running backs have definitely been hitting the holes and making the linemen look right sometimes. But I do think the linemen are doing a great job as well.
Yeah, I go back to last season. I always loved watching Kieran run. I mean, he runs so hard and everything. You saw that Friday night too. So it's, again, we're going to get ready to talk to our offensive linemen and got you guys here. Coach, anything else you want to throw in about your guys? Or?
I'm definitely excited about being back with the OL. I think they're the most experienced group on the offensive side of the ball by far. They've got the most varsity snaps out of anybody that we have. So I do think it's going to be an exciting season for them. There's just small corrections that need to be fixed, but that's with every OL group right now. But I am very excited about being back with them and coaching them this year.
Yes, you don't have. Are you still or running backs? Or you not? You're not doing running backs?
We actually moved Rajon Scott over to running backs.
Okay.
He
That's why I asked the running back question.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'll answer him because I still watch him.
Well, when you see him, you think running back every time you see him.
Every time.
I mean,
Seriously, he's ready to play.
he's half the man he used to be.
Yeah. But I still watch them every now and again because I like seeing where the holes hit and how we're blocking it up front. But we moved Coach Scott over there. He was our 9th grade running back coach last year.
Gotcha.
But that's not where my heart was.
No doubt.
You covered us whenever I was playing, and OL was my passion. Thankfully, Coach Real was more than willing to put me back over there. So,
and Coach Stepp, you're coming over, obviously offensive line again. Sorry about the Riverside comment. But anyway.
He's one of those rare moments where, like, it's like you join. If you can't beat him, you join him. He beat us and then joined us. It was one of those rare moments of that in history.
Coming over from Riverside, I mean, what do you see? What are you seeing Riverside, Bowling Springs? I mean, what's going on with our line right now?
I try not to compare the two. I'm in a new place to be where my feet are.
That's right.
That's a smart answer. I like it.
And the boss is sitting right there.
He's been working on that one for a while. He actually had that one. ChatGPT answered that one for him.
We're getting ready to talk to your guys here. Everything I thought they looked really well Friday night. Opened a lot of holes and protecting Nate and AZ back there. So just now, let you brag on your guys for a minute.
Yes, I think Coach McDowell hit on the head. There's MAs, little things we can fix, but the effort has been there consistently, and that's all we can ask for out of these dudes, 100%.
Yes, effort overcomes a lot of stuff.
Most definitely.
Effort overcomes a lot. And one thing I can remember from last year saying on the air toward the end of the season was we had a lot of young linemen last year. Well, they're not young anymore. We were looking to say, well, we got all those guys coming back for next year. I can't wait to see what the off-season workouts and, gelling together this year, could be very special with this group here, and that's one thing we're definitely looking forward to.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times you guys get the bad rep, and we'll talk to you guys in a minute too. But if everything goes well, it's look how good the quarterback played, look how good the running back played, and everything goes bad just because the line didn't protect.
Lineman didn't give him time.
We're wanting to let you guys shine tonight. That's why we got these guys on here. We're going to talk to you guys in a minute and everything, but give you all the props. Normally the skill position and all the ball handling guys get the credit, but we're going to let you guys shine a little bit tonight. So anything else you guys want to throw in before we get Coach Real in here?
No, excited for the season. It's been a long time coming. It feels like we've been doing this off-season stuff for a long time, and now we're here, and I really cannot wait to get going for Friday night. It's exciting, and it's a chance to go against some, like you mentioned, a team we've never gone against before.
It's different. Thing. Never seen them before, and like you said, you can't take them lightly. I can remember way back, 500 years ago when I played. I was at Spartanburg High School. Well, Woodruff had a guy named Tony Rice down there. Well, we definitely didn't want to play Woodruff, as small as they were, as little. We didn't want to play people like Tony Rice. Our coach said, we're not going down there and getting embarrassed. We're supposed to beat them, and there's no chance.
Right.
So small schools like that, they got a chip on their shoulder, and that's how you expect Southside Christian to play.
Absolutely.
They're going to have a chip on their shoulder because they have nothing to lose coming into the game, even though it's at their house. They have nothing to lose, and that's when they're dangerous.
Yeah, it is, and it's exciting for these. I can, again, speak for our guys. We have a sophomore in the starting lineup right now, Jaden Jones, and some other guys are going to get in the rotation at tight end and receiver and running back. Like Malik Wanamaker played great on the freshman team last year. Now he's in the rotation at running back, and this will be their first true varsity experience. And excited. It's really, as a coach, that's what you ask for. You train them, you push them hard, you prepare, and this is a chance to see them go out there and do all the stuff they've been working on for the past year.
And then you just hope the line doesn't mess it up.
That's always the goal.
I had to say that because the big boys are coming up in.
The one thing about O-line is, like, the best compliment you can give is, like, hey, I didn't even really know he was out there. That's like, it's one of the best things. Like, sometimes, like Jake, for example, the other day, like, we played Pickens. I'm like, I didn't even notice Jake out there because he did a great job. I mean, just didn't give him pressure, didn't come off of a block in a bad way or anything like that. And you're like, man, did a great job, and I didn't even know he was out there half the time. So.
Yeah, it's one thing when I'm broadcasting, of course, I talk about the skill positions, like who's got the ball, who made the tackle. Unfortunately, when I get to talk about the safety or the defense about making the tackles because the line or something didn't do what they're supposed to do. But if they do their job, we don't have to say a lot about them because, everybody's following the ball, and I'm following the ball, and these guys have, give your skill guys a chance to do the job. Now, every once in a while, I'll see a real good block, and I'll have to talk about him on there. Like, man, he just not, But, yeah.
They're blocking the opponent, it's not us.
Yeah.
Well, every once in a while, they get colorblind and hit the wrong jersey.
No,
but
I mean, the opponent's not blocking us.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming out. I know it's been a long day. You've had practice and stuff, so appreciate you coming on and sharing. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you guys again. Look forward to Friday night and seeing the fruits of your labor. So appreciate everybody. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Coach Real and the offensive line.
Are you looking for a church that feels more like a family reunion than a funeral? You should try View Church, where we're focused on Christ, not your past. We're at 678 Mountain View Road in Bowling Springs. Our service times are 8:30 and 11. You should come check it out.
Ready for seafood that makes your mouth water? You can't go wrong with the Flounder Seafood Restaurant. Whether it's delicious stews or fresh fish, shrimp, oysters, or scallops you're craving, yep, we have them all. And don't forget to order your famous onion rings to start off your experience. We bring fresh flavor and big portions to every plate. Come for the seafood, stay for the experience. Make tonight a seafood night at the Flounder Seafood Restaurant, where there's always a line, but it moves quick. Visit us today at 180 Barbado Lane, the Flounder Seafood Restaurant. Fresh seafood, unforgettable flavor.
Folks, if you can smell that smoke, you're getting close. This is Razorbacks Barbecue and Grill. We're talking slow smoked barbecue, fall off the bone ribs, juicy pulled pork, brisket packed with the real deal smoky flavor. We also have burgers, dogs, and even fish. Don't forget Wing Wednesday and weekly specials. And save room for the ice cream. No fancy talk, no shortcuts, just good food done right. So grab the family, grab your buddies, and bring your appetite. Razorbacks Barbecue and Grill, 11120 Asheville Highway in Inman, 864-256-7930. Razorbacks Barbecue and Grill.
And we're back here at Real Talk with Coach Matt Real. Now we're joined by Coach Real. And, Coach, appreciate you coming. I know it's been a long day. Y'all started early and you stayed late. But got some big boys with us tonight that's going to be very important for the season.
I told you guys, we talked a lot this summer, not on the air, but just, us talking. And I felt like this group had a chance to be the best group we've had overall, since I've been here. 3 guys that have played a considerable amount of varsity football. Another kid who's played off, started some, didn't, and then the guys that's been with us now for 2 and 3 years behind them. It's a really good group. They're great kids. They've got a chance, in my opinion, to really sway how we play. Being able to control the ball, being able to finish games. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care, what team it is. There's not many teams that are lining up and throwing the ball, at the end of the game whenever they're up and they're trying to solidify the win. So for us to be able to control the line of scrimmage, to keep Emory upright, keep AZ upright, let us get to those playmakers. These guys are going to be the difference on how successful we are this year. And I tell them it's not pressure. I don't want them to feel pressure. It's just taking pride in their job and doing what we know they can do. And we're excited to see all these kids that's put so much in this program over the last 3 or 4 years really be ones that we can, hang our hat on and trust to get the job done for us.
Coming off of last year's season, pretty much the whole line has come back because they were all young last year. And
sure.
Some of them hadn't played much on Friday night until last year, kind of thrown the wolves. Now they've had a year to gel in the off-season workouts. And, again, we said this last year toward the end of the season, we're excited about next year's offensive line because, like you said, they are going to be an integral part of our success. And that's just it starts with the line because it doesn't matter who you got back there throwing the ball or running the ball. If they're hitting the backfield, they can't do anything with it.
I think the O-line especially, and I think D-line to an extent, but there's never a credit that's really given. Like when you're talking to reporters or you're talking, people after the game, very rarely do they say, man, that left guard really, played well tonight. You don't get that. But as a head coach, I've seen it plenty as a head coach, as a position coach, and I was an O-line guy for 4 years. And honestly, if I had to go back and coach a group, that's exactly where I'd go back to. They're a different breed of people, and I say that in a good way. Mm-hmm. They're tough. There's not an easy day. There's not a day when we go to practice where it's just an easy day for those guys because nothing they do is easy, and everything that we do offensively is predicated off how well we can block people, how well we can just, we tell them your job is to snatch their soul every single snap and make it as physical as you can possibly make it to where after 2 quarters, 3 quarters, they don't want no more of that. And that's how you got to play that position. And if you have a soft mentality or you're not very tough, then it's not the spot for you.
Yes, yeah.
And
pick another sport.
It is. And it's, there's a lot of unsaid credibility that we try to make sure they hear because, man, it's just impossible to be a really good football team if you're not very good up front.
Yeah, and we saw that Friday night. We controlled the line pretty well. We, tried some different players. AZ came in and played, and did a great job, but, he had time. And when he didn't have the time that he might need, he had the poise to run around. But
sure.
the lineman did a great job of not getting a bunch of holding calls when he's trying to create in the backfield. And that's usually when a lineman gets caught bear hugging somebody.
Sure.
And they avoided that. I don't remember. I saw some penalties out there, but it wasn't necessarily a lineman getting called for it. They did a great job using discipline and helping out.
I thought the penalties we had as far as the O-line, we had a couple of just false starts, but I thought we had our penalties were aggressive, and I'm okay with that. You know, you're going to get a hold every now and then. I think we got a couple that were a little questionable too. We got, we're trying to finish blocks. Like, we're not getting to them, putting our hands on them. We're literally trying to drive them through the ground. That's our goal. And I thought we had some penalties where we were being aggressive, and we were good with that. And, I think our guys – when they're playing like that and they're playing the way you want to play, you'll deal with that and you'll move on from it because they are having that physical mentality and they are trying to do what we teach them to do every day.
If they're not trying hard enough, they're not going to get the penalties. If you're doing right, they could call a holding almost every play. So it's the effort that you want to see, and that's what we saw Friday, and we're looking forward to this Friday. We're going to need the effort because it counts this week.
It's big. We've told these guys, like, I think their strength, if we're looking at Southside Christian, their strength, I think, is in their D-line and O-line. I think they play extremely hard. I think they get off the football. They have a physical mentality. They're two-way guys, so they're tough. It's not I'm only going to play this side of the ball or this side of the ball. That they're expected to play Iron Man football, and that's what they've been conditioning all summer for. This isn't something that they just came up with 2 weeks ago. This is the brand of football they play. They got some really good football players. They don't have the depth. They may only have 35, but the ones they got that are playing are true players, and they're a good football team. And it's going to be a great challenge for us to meet them where that is. We got to meet them at that physicality point, at that energy point, at just the excitement to be out there and play the game. I think early on is going to be huge, and I think we can wear them, as we go through the game if that's what we continue to do, and they're still having to play those same guys over and over and over again.
But, a team like that, they knew last year they were playing both ways this year, so they prepared in the offseason. They know it ahead of time, and they have a chip on their shoulder because they're playing a 5A team that's coming to our house. We're not expected to do anything, and they're going to play tough the whole game. And if they hang around in the fourth quarter, their adrenaline, there's not going to be any fatigue. The teams like that, they just get momentum goes their direction, so you got to take it from them.
Absolutely. It's a good challenge. It's a away game, first week out. It's a team that's won, so they understand what that looks like. They have the pedigree of a winning program. Not too long ago, winning state championships. Yeah. They understand it. Coach Guest does a great job. He's a great football coach. He was in Georgia for a while, came back to South Carolina. They're going to be a great football team for us to play on Friday night.
Well, you brought the guys with you tonight. You want to introduce them, give them a little air time. I mean, linemen typically don't look good on the air, but
this group
does.
This group's different, man. They're a good group. They're a fun group. There's a lot of personalities on this group. Some sneaky ones. Well, yeah. They'll surprise you every now and then.
That's what it takes.
But they're a great group collectively. We enjoy them. They're a fun group to coach because you can coach them. They don't shy away from getting yelled at. They don't shy away from getting challenged. They don't shy away from getting corrected. And then they don't shy away from us loving on them and congratulating them when they do things right. And I think when you have kids like that, there's a lot of things we can get to because they don't get caught up in, I'm getting in my feelings or this or that. Like, they understand. Like Coach McDowell, Coach Stepp, myself, Coach Turk, like, we all have an expectation, and we've seen what they can do in these scrimmages and then even last year what they can do, and that's the standard. And when we play to the standard, especially at O-line, then we're going to have a chance to be very successful. But our guys here, senior Colin Johnson, senior Jake Henderson, senior Landon Crocker, junior Levi Ross, senior E.J. George, junior Dekai Green, senior Zion Bob, and junior Trey Swafford. All guys that have seen action already this year, and guys that we feel like are going, like, we don't feel like we just got. And there's a couple years, man, I first got here, we had 5 dudes every Friday, and we were just praying to God nobody got hurt. It's not that way anymore. No. We've got some depth built in. We've got guys that have invested in this, in this O-line position group. Really guys that have, really done a great job in the weight room. I mean, if you look at these guys' numbers, Colin over a 600 squat, which he set a school record in that earlier this year. Wow. EJ's benching, what are you benching now, EJ? 405. Jake has put up great numbers across the board. Dekai, Trey, and Zion, Levi, all guys. Landon, Landon's only been with us for 2 years, and him just seeing how he's transformed. I mean, we got a group of workers, man, and I think that you know, when you look at that as a culture and you look at what you want your team to be built on, you want guys that are just grinders. You know, that's one of the things, there's no pretty way to say it. We just want grinders. Guys that will come in, go to work, punch in the time clock, and get the job done. That's what we got, man. And I'm excited about them being able to show themselves this year, you know, what that looks like and how hard that work has been, and then just finding the ways for them to get, you know, celebrated for doing that.
Yeah, and offensive line, again, we don't get to talk about a lot on there during the game because if they're doing their job, they're out of sight because you're looking at the skill positions, you're following the ball down the field. But unfortunately, when one of them messes up, this guy, especially the procedures and the holdings up, and I try my best not to throw a number because I'm not going to let Mama come and get me if I say, yeah, well, Jake did something. I'm not getting Mama coming after me because I've talked to her. I'm going to leave that one alone. But the linemen, that's usually when they get talked about is when they've done something or the referee's accused them of something anyway.
Sure. I mean, that's a part of it. I think what I've learned is to go and watch it on film before I get too temperamental about things because it's never as bad as you think it is. It's never as good as you think it is. So there's also, there's a couple times where we felt like I said, we got some aggressive penalties. And in the course of the game, did you really like it being 1st and 20? No. But then you go back and watch the play and you're like, man, he's freaking getting after it. Mm-hmm. He's trying to do what we want him to do. Let's maybe fix a small detail and let's go back to work. And I think that's kind of maturing as a coach. Early on you want to, it's like a knee-jerk reaction every time something happens, and it still happens. If you're passionate about what you're doing, it still happens. But I think with this group, man, just knowing what their intent is, there's not a guy that goes out there that's trying to screw it up. You know what I mean? They're all locked in. They're all wanting to be great. They're all wanting us to win. And I think that's what you got to keep in mind and just, fix the small things, let these guys go be who they are and go dominate the line of scrimmage.
Well, Coach, like you said, we got a bunch of seniors on here and some juniors. Let's go one time. Introduce yourself and kind of tell us what your expectations are for the season. What was your goal for the season, and what kind of plans do you have after you graduate?
Well, my name is Colin Johnson. I want to play college football, so that's why this season's a big deal for me. It's my senior year. I want to win a lot of games, of course, and I really want to show people what I can do so I can get those offers and go play somewhere. Yeah.
My name is Jake Henderson, and my goal for this year is just to do the best I can and win, and just do good as a unit and have a good team.
My name's EJ George. One goal for the season is I want the O-line to dominate. I want to run the ball every play. I want to run down their neck every play.
Bring back the fullback.
Every play. I plan to play college football. And yeah.
I like it.
I'm Dekai Green. One of my goals for the season is to hold the entire O-line accountable. Everybody doing their job. That's when everybody else gets all the praise. When we do our jobs good, and just dominate every play.
My name is Ian Bob. I just want our team to do good, play good. It's more to it than just a single player. We all together as a team, so I want us all to play good. We do our part, and as a team, we all success to this point. We all win as a team. So, but I just want to go to South Carolina and play. Well, not play, but just go to college for business management.
I could think of worse places to go. It's a good place to go.
My name is Levi Ross, and my goal for this season is to learn the most I can from the seniors that are about to leave and hopefully be as good as them one day.
It's a team player. I like that.
My name is Landon Crocker, and my goal for the season is just to help everybody if they need and just to dominate.
My name is Trace Walford, and my goal is just to make memories because not everybody's going to be here next year, and I love every single one of them. They're great players, great teammates, and my goal is to play college football, but, it's just to go to college in general.
Now, raise your hand if you're a senior. How many seniors we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa.
Got a few more that aren't here with us today that are seniors as well.
Yeah, some of the names we've heard, Jake and EJ, and some of you guys, Dekai, we've heard you several years now. I talk about Dennis on the defensive side. It seems like he's played on the varsity team 15 years. I think, Henderson, you the same way, man. You've been up here so much, we've called your name so much, it seems like you've been here forever. So, I know you don't ever look past Southside Christian. That's the most important game. I get that. What's the one game that's going to stick out to you on this schedule that you're looking forward to the most, I think? Anybody? Just grab the mic.
I'd say Dorman High School. They got a big D-line, physical, fast. And it'd be nice to show everybody what we can do against them, especially as an undersized offensive lineman.
Gotcha. Anybody else got games they're looking forward to?
I don't know. Hearing from the coaches, like Coach Stepp and Coach Riddell, they always tell me to look for this week. But honestly, I want to play Northwestern. Big school, beat Irmo by a lot in the state championship. I'm looking to show them that we're not crap at football.
Yeah.
We actually know how to play, and we can show them how to play.
I'm not even going to look ahead to any other game. I'm just going to focus on Southside.
That's my guy.
That's
my guy.
Get in here.
Coach hates when I go, but Coach hates when I do that.
I think the best part of their whole team is their D-line and their defense in general. So I think that's a game I look forward to.
Anybody else want to jump in?
I was with you. I'm focused on Southside Christian. I mean, that's the only team we worry about right now. We in ahead right now. We worry about their D-line, what they run, and what they do. It's a good competition for us.
I'm looking forward to Riverside because we all know what happened last year.
I didn't say it.
You set it up.
We need some payback, and we got their coaches now. So
I'm with you.
We need some payback.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one myself.
Southside Christian, coaches always tell us to be where our feet are, and that's our goal for this week, dominate every day to prepare for Friday.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys have been watching film all week on their defense. What are you guys expecting to see out of their defense coming at you on offense?
Well, they're pretty big, physical, play both ways, but I know they're going to run the bear front, which is going to be a little bit harder. I'm not going to see that much this season. So we're going to have to dominate them at the line of scrimmage.
After watching film, their linebackers play very heavy run game. Even if it's pass, they'll take 3 heavy steps downfield. And we just got to be ready for that and not get scared acting like a blitz even though they got 5 down. We just got to be ready to see anything. They blitz a lot.
The thing about them is that a lot of their players play both sides. So if we wear them out up front, then that'll affect their play on offense. So if we just do good up front, then we can do good for the rest of the team.
You set them up for success by taking care of the trenches.
Like EJ said and Colin, they run the bear front, but if we dominate, stay true to our rules, have our eyes up, seeing backers, and we'll be successful.
Obviously, the other night we saw a lot of A.Z. Harris, backup quarterback. Normally we're going to have Emory back there. Is there any difference? Do you guys change anything, do anything different from A.Z. to Emory being back there? I think you got one there.
They're all shaking their head.
And now the standard is the standard.
I get you.
Doesn't matter who's got the rock in his hand. Our job is our job.
I got you.
No, and I think too, AZ, that was his first big experience. At Friday night, and I think these guys did a great job of making it easy for him. He took one big hit early. I think after that he settled in, and our guys settled in, and they just did their job. I think if we do that, man, we can put Emory back there. You can have AZ back there. Running backs, our 3 guys can all rotate in, and it's not. They're going to all be able to be productive because of this group right here.
That's where it starts, is up front. And if they don't do their job, it makes it tough on everybody else. But when they do their job, it's just a lot more pleasant to watch.
No doubt.
It just sets everything up and just everything going in the right direction.
Well, guys, we appreciate you staying on. I know it's been a long day. You had school and practice and everything else. Thank you for staying and talking with us. Anybody got anything else they want to add before we sign you guys off and go to Coach Real? Now's the time, man. This is the O-line shine time right now. Guys, we appreciate you. We're looking forward to Friday night. Hopefully, hey, you got something? There we go.
I like it.
I was just gonna say, be ready. We're gonna upset some people this year. Just be ready.
We ready. Well, we ready. Anybody else? Guys, we appreciate you. Look forward to Friday night, and I hope to see good things from you guys. And hopefully, we'll see several of you guys, if not all of you guys, Player of the Week sometime this year. So, you want to talk to you guys, or?
Just 13 hours. I'll see y'all on the field.
See you on the field.
All right, we're going to take another break. Let these guys go home, and we'll finish up with Coach Frill.
Derrick Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto. Home.
Okay, and this is Auto again, right?
Auto.
Hey, this is my living room.
Home.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call Agent Chad.
Are you looking for a church to call home? At Center Cross Church, you'll find friendly people, heartfelt worship, and Bible-centered preaching that points people to Jesus Christ. No matter where you've been or what you're facing, there's a place for you at Center Cross Church. Join Dr. Joey Mills and our church family at 594 Dillon Street in Chesney. Check our website for times at centercrosschurch.com. We can't wait to welcome you this Sunday. Center Cross Church, Christ-centered, Bible-believing, family-focused.
And we're back here, Real Talk with Coach Matt Real. And, Coach, now the linemen are gone. It's just us now. You got to be excited about the scrimmage games and jamborees and everything else are over with. And now Friday night, I mean, I don't want to say the other ones don't mean anything, but now it means something. We got first game coming up this Friday for the season.
Yeah, I think it was good. We had a lot of, delays and different things that went on for our jamborees, and it kind of made our guys really focus in on some things because it wasn't just your typical, we get there, go through your warm-ups, get on the field. There was a lot of downtime. We went and warmed up, and you had to stop, and you had to go back out and warm up and had to stop. And, not that we necessarily wanted to do it that way, but within that, there's teaching moments. And I think, having Gray here, which, that's a really good football team. They're going to win a lot of games this year. Having that competition was great for us. We went up to Pickens and played really, really well. Ran the football, hit some deep shots, had some explosive plays, which was really good for us. Then Friday night, we didn't play bad. I think if we take away 2 penalties and it's 21-3 or 21-0,
right,
there's a whole different game that we're talking about. But within the game, I thought we played pretty well. Had some things we got to clean up, which honestly is expected. That's one reason why I love our jamboree. It forces guys that haven't been in that moment. We had a good crowd here Friday night.
Yeah.
By the time we played, so there was a ton of people there. It was loud. It was a great environment. And those young guys kind of hopefully got those jitters out a little bit and are ready to go now. And we need them to be able to play at a high level Friday night. I think this team is really, when you look at it from as far as us being a 5A school and their classification, I think people can easily misconstrue some things, but they're a really good football team, and they're going to do some things that are going to challenge us. Their strengths, I think, is going to be a good challenge for us because they are really good up front, and their linebackers are downhill really hard. Offensively, they give you, 12 personnel, 13 personnel. Then they can be in 10 personnel, so they can be completely empty. Then in the very next play, have 3 tight ends out there. So we've got to do a great job communicating defensively what we're getting. We got a lot of checks in as far as being able to balance up and really overload where we need to overload, make sure we're balanced across the board, push things where we want it to be pushed to, not allow them to push us where they want to push us to. There's things that we're doing, but I do think with their guys going both ways, that can definitely help us. If our O-line's fresh, if our D-line's fresh, and then they're seeing guys that are maybe 75%, or less, as the game goes on, I think those are things that can help us. But we got to execute early and just, we talk about it all the time, man. We got to play to our standard. And I think it's a very simple thing to say, but that really encompasses a lot of things. And I think if we do that, we got a chance to be really good. And if we can get through this, this non-region slate we got and be healthy, and we're playing to our standard, then I think that's going to set us up, long term to have a really successful season, and then just see what happens after that.
Yeah, the heat, I think, is playing on a big role on everybody these days. Obviously, it's affected your practice schedule and stuff.
Yeah.
But going into Friday night, it's still going to be in the 90s, 80s, and high humidity and stuff. But I know Coach Blackwood does a great job with the conditioning. You guys are working on their nutrition and stuff like that. So hopefully, and it's like you said, playing both ways on the other team, that it may be a detriment.
I've talked to a lot of people. Us coaches in this area, a lot of people think we hate each other, just because of the rivalries and all that. But in these situations, we really piggyback off each other a lot to try and figure out the best things for our kids. So we have our football class first block. All of our position groups for varsity and JV have a coach in that class. Our freshman staff, a lot of those guys work outside the building, so it's really hard to practice them during that time because we don't have the coaches to do that. But what we've done, we did it a couple days last week with the same thing, is we weren't going to be able to get outside until 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. And I think it's almost as important to be fresh and not worn out and tired, every day too, than it is, from a practice standpoint. So we've went our heavy thud periods during class. We've got about 90 minutes, really about 80 minutes once you get the kids changed and all that kind of stuff. So we really practiced for about 70 minutes. Got our thud periods in, got our contact periods in. During that class time, they go to school. We lifted after school instead of during class. And then we did some special teams and some other walkthroughs with our guys when it's so hot we can only be in helmets. So I feel like we've handled it, as well as we possibly can. But I think too, it's just, how do you keep your kids hydrated? How do you keep your kids healthy? How do you do all the things as a coach to make sure they're prepared and really at the height on Friday, as far as a preparation point, a hydration point, a health point, than us maybe keeping them here. Like tonight, our freshman team, they've only got to practice an hour the last 2 days. Because with the wet bowl being at certain points, you can only be in certain equipment. You can only be on the field for a certain amount of time, and it's all regulated. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be. We got to take care of these kids and all that. But within that, we got to figure out how do we get our kids prepared to play a game that's determined by how physical you are, on Thursday and Friday night. So our freshmen have come in at 5:30. They go to the gym since we can't get outside yet. They do their conditioning in the gym. They come down and meet, and then by 6:30, hopefully, right now they should be transitioning down to the field to practice from 6:30 to 8. So, man, it's just really trying to make sure we take care of our guys. I mean, the heat, in all seriousness, like the heat can be something very dangerous. And I think our biggest job as a coach is the safety of our players. So we've really tried to modify what we can, but at the same time, get everything done we got to do to have our guys prepared for Friday night. Yeah. But it's not just us. I mean, it's everybody. Somerville, I was talking to Coach Moxie earlier today, and, he's down at Hilton Head now, and they don't have a football class. So they're, you're either forced to go at 5:30 in the morning or you're forced to go, 6:30, 7 o'clock at night and to get your days in. So, it's us. I posted something earlier today, us having – our administrators have really fought, especially going into this 5th year, to have all of our kids in football class, have as many coaches in this football class as we can have. So really, for us, it really, if you got a day where you're going to get thunderstorms all evening, you can practice in class in the morning, and then do some things different after school. With the heat, obviously, everybody across the state is dealing with it. So we've been able to move our practices to at least get 2/3 of our football teams practices done in the morning, and then we lift them after school. And Coach Blackwood's done a great job of changing those things around and still getting the after-school lifting done with the people that need to get it done, but then us being able to come in at 4:15 and get our stuff done, with our guys. So it's always evolving, and I think if you get stuck in the way of doing things, then you're going to miss out on, I think COVID really taught me. We thought you had to do all these things a certain way as a football coach for so long. You got to be in the meeting rooms. You got to be on Sundays, and they got to be there. And we played for a state championship that second year of COVID, and we didn't meet in person one time. We were all on the computer screen just doing our Google Meets. And, I think this just taught me a lot about, we got to look outside the box. We got to look at the different ways of doing things. You can still get done what you need to get done, maybe just not the traditional way of which we thought you had to get it done. And then there's some guys that are going to do it the traditional way no matter what, and they're going to practice at 8 o'clock and then go to 10 o'clock, and they're still going to win a lot of football games. So I think we just got to do what we have that's best for our kids to be able to do, and then hopefully that's going to pay off for us on Friday.
Well, Friday's coming up. It is Tuesday, but next thing you know, we're going to be suiting up Friday night. And, again, the weather's going to play a part in it, but that's just part of it. So the team, they seem to be going in the right direction. I know the jamboree's over with, but, mentally wise, they're getting excited about it knowing the season's here.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, man. I try not to get too much into this stuff, but there's still a part of you as a competitor and just as a man. There's a lot of people that are doubting our kids. There's a lot of people that have posted their predictions for the year and this and that, and I really try not to get caught up in that, because 99% of the time it's people that have no idea or have no semblance with your program.
They've never suited up themselves.
So But within that, there is a part of you that it burns a little bit, and because you know how hard your kids have been working. We know the potential. We know what our kids can do. It's just getting us to go out and do it now. And this week is a big one for us. Starting out the season or starting out the year 1-0, I think is huge in the grand scheme of things, what we're trying to do. We've been able to do that, the last 2 years. And then the third year we lost to T.L. Hanna here in the last minute of the game. So, we've done a really good job the last 3 years of coming out early, winning the first game. And I think if we can do that again this year, it really sets us up for those next 3 or 4 games, the non-region, to go in, compete, find a way to win. And then really, if you can do that, then I think having that confidence, having that belief in yourself as, hey, we've done this repeatedly to this point, then you go into that Northwestern game on a high note. You go into that Rock Hill game on a high note. So, again, not looking to that point, but there's all things that can be affected by exactly where we're at right now. And I think I told you guys last year, I did not do a good job of driving the point home last year that we got to be where we're at right now. I think we let some weeks that we felt like we were just better than people. Maybe we didn't prepare as good as we should have. Maybe I didn't do a great job of motivating our guys that week and saying, hey, look, we got to have this done. This is the most important thing. And it's not necessarily the big things you say, but it's the little things you say throughout the week that lets those kids know whether it's really like important or not, or is it something that you're just like, well, if we do this, we'll be fine. And that's not going to happen this year. That's been one of my biggest things as a coach, and I've expressed to our staff is, man, we got to, like today, we got to have the best Tuesday we can possibly have. And tomorrow we got to have the best Wednesday practice we've had, the whole season. And I think that's where we're at right now. I feel good about it. We're relatively healthy right now. Got our guys coming in ready to go, and I think that's going to be a big thing for us too. Is just how healthy we can stay this year and keep those guys, in the rotation.
You work all during the off season, all summer long. Now it's time to get after it. And of course, obviously, you want to stay where we are here on Friday night, focus on Southside Christian. But we got a good season ahead of us, a good non-region schedule. People talk about the new realignment and things like that. Doesn't really make a difference to us because we swapped Gaffney and Burns for Rock Hill Northwestern. So it's not like you got easier or harder. Just 2 great teams that we haven't faced normally, but we gave up 2 great teams that we faced all the time. So these guys are building on. Our season's going to be tough no matter what.
Yeah, there's no downplay. There's no, hey, you got an easy schedule because you lost Gaffney and Burns. We've played last year. We kind of take that off, but we've really played both those teams really well every year I've been here. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they were just dominating us, and then you take them off, and then these other 2 teams come in. So, you take away those 2, then you add Northwestern, who's won it the last 2 years, who, they're just really good football program. Really good. And then Rock Hill, Coach Boulware's done a great job. They've got a ton of guys that's moved there on top of the players they already had there.
Yep.
He's done a great job in his second year of kind of getting his staff. That first year it's hard getting it the way you want. I think he's finally got his staff the way he wants it and cohesive and really on board with what he believes in and what he thinks they can do. And they're a really good football team. They lost to Burns last year in the playoffs, but they're really good. They're as talented as anybody, across that whole team. And again, they come from, that area where they expect you to win every single game,
every week.
I saw a thing this week. I guess up there they gave all 6 head coaches a dealership there, gave them a new truck. Huh. And the deal is, if you keep that truck until you lose. So they win. If they every week they win, that dude keeps driving that same truck. And then they told them, if you win a state championship, you keep it for a year, and you order whatever you want. So that tells me right there,
they're serious about it.
100%. There ain't no funny business going on. They expect, and the guy told him, it was funny because I was watching. He was like, "We expect you to win in this area. This isn't the area of football where, a 5-5 season or a 6-4. Like, if you ain't playing deep in the playoffs, it ain't been a good year.
Next year you drive a Pinto or something like that.
Hey, you might, but that just shows you whether you knew anything about Rock Hill Northwestern at all. South Point, all those schools. I know all those coaches really well. There's there's an expectation that you're going to win every single game, and if you don't, there's going to be you got to answer to somebody. So that's what we're coming into, and that's great because there's expectations and we got to meet them. So I'm excited about who we play. I don't think if you came to the upstate in this area and took the job, if you bat your eye at playing anybody, then you probably shouldn't be here.
No.
Because that's just the level of competition we're going to play every year.
Well, this Friday, you got Southside Christian. They expect to come and compete. They didn't schedule Bowling Springs. Well, we're just going to bring them over here. No, they're going to put a game on the field.
No doubt.
They're ready to go too. So you can't bat an eye at anybody in our whole schedule.
No, they play Woodmont. They play J.L. Mann. They play there's all those Greenville schools that are in there. They play all of them. So it's not like they don't play 5A schools. Not they don't play good people. They're actively seeking out good competition to get their guys ready for their region play. And honestly, like with the way things are, if the RPI matters, but if you win your region, you're in the playoffs. Yep. And if you win it, you're going to be a top 4 seed.
Right.
And that's exactly what he's trying to get his team ready for. And I'm all for it. I think he's doing a great job. I think his mentality's right, and he's going to test. His kids are going to be battle tested when they get to those region games they got to play.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we know you got to get down to ninth grade practice. We appreciate you taking the time and sending your coaches down here and talk about everything. We'll head over to Greenville County on Friday night. And anybody that has a car lot or a dealership, Coach needs a new truck. So anybody wants to donate the truck to Coach Real. But, Coach, we look forward to Friday night taking on Southside Christian. We'll be back here Tuesday night and hopefully talking about a win.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for our kids. I think we've had a good preseason. And then this one counts, so it's time to get it done and start putting a lot of W's in those columns as we start rolling through these weeks.
Absolutely. So next broadcast will be Friday night. We'll be at Southside Christian, and airtime will be at 7 o'clock. Game time is at 7:30, unless some kind of heat issues. They pushed the game back, but it'll be on. We'll be live streaming on YouTube. Check out our social media pages, and we'll be ready for Friday night.
Please join in. If you can't make the drive over there, we'll bring it to you. Looking forward to a win Friday night against Southside Christian. Thanks for joining us.